Continue. All right, okay. Right. So, no one moves through life like me, and no one moves through life just like you. Each and every one of us has a unique rhythm, a unique talent, which we can offer to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, friends, you are all welcome to this special occasion. Today, this afternoon, we are not only celebrating book, so we're not only here to celebrate my book, and we're not only here to celebrate Chuka's book. We are here to celebrate a movement, a call for action for each and every one of you here to awaken your talent and serve your gift to the world. My journey begins with resilience. An underprivileged girl growing up, I faced financial challenges. I hawk agidi jollof. From street to street, from doors to doors knocking. That experience was tough. But he equipped me to become determined and to persevere. And this is the theme of today's gathering: determination and perseverance. In 2022, I was faced, not just me, my family, we were faced by a different financial, or rather another financial hurdle. Determined, I was set out to look for a job. I wasn't going to look for a job, I was going to get it. So I don't know, some of you might know Rosso. Rosso used to be located in Spring Gardens, Manchester. So I walked in. Rosso, by the way, is an iconic restaurant. It's known as a playground for the rich and the famous. And some of you who like football, it's also co-owned by Rio Ferdinand, the ex-professional footballer. So I walked in, and I asked to see the manager. The manager came out and asked what he could do for me. With hunger in my eyes, not for food, but for work, I confidently said, "My name is Anthonia Nwobodo. I have hospitality background, and I'm here to work for you." And my determination struck a chord. I was offered the job. And not only that, I requested for a higher pay. I was paid more than my colleagues doing the same job. And that reconfirmed my belief in valuing yourself, because the world will reflect what you project. So this is where it gets interesting. 2 weeks into Rosso's job, I got a phone call for a teaching role, offering to pay me £31.71. Well, that's a good pay compared to what I was paid to in 2014, which was 20 pounds. So I accepted the job, of course, gladly. Because it was agency, so the contract ended after 6 months. But before it ended, I got another one. But this time, I wasn't going to be paid £31.71 because I thought to myself, I might be doing something good here. I need to step it higher. So I raised the bar a bit higher and requested for £40 an hour. And guess what? It was granted. Ladies and gentlemen, when you are determined to play bold, the universe will obey your wish. And as Nelson Mandela said, there's no passion in playing small. What do I stand to lose? If they said no for all the requests I've made, and so what? It's part of it. It's part of success. Saying no is not actually a failure. It's actually a sign that you are determined to play big. So before I hand you over to Chike and Chuka, my sons, to tell you how my message has resonated with them, the impact it has on them. They will also be telling us how they overcame challenges to gain scholarship. Chike, Manchester Grammar School, and Chuka, Stockport Grammar School. And they're also going to tell us how the message also helped them to even achieve further in life by gaining admissions to prestigious universities like Chuka, Imperial College London, and University of Oxford, and Chike, University of Bath.
Who's going first? You?
Me, I think. I should think so, yes, me. Okay.
Thank you. So, serve your gift. It's not just a title. It's a call for action. So, I ask you,
Okay.
What dream are you holding on? What passion are you hiding from the world? Because you can only offer to the world what is unique to you. So I challenge you today to dream big, dream boldly. What's the worst that can happen? What are you afraid of? Fear. F-E-A-R. False evidence appearing real. You just internalize fear. It might not be real. In most cases, it's never real anyway. So I urge you to step into your greatness. Believe in yourself. Because I believe in you. Thank you. Now, I will now call upon Chuka to tell us his story.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like you all to close your eyes for a moment. Imagine this. Behold, a 6-year-old child with his parents in a small room gathered with a team of medical professionals, experts at the top of their field. Awkward silence. That is how long the silence was before they now told us the grave news. That child will have cerebral atrophy. What cerebral atrophy, you may ask? As we were pondering, or specifically my parents, as I was obviously too young to comprehend the depths of that diagnosis, cerebral atrophy comes from the word cerebral, meaning of the brain, and atrophy, meaning decay. loss. So literally, cerebral atrophy is brain loss, brain decay. So this young boy was destined to a life of slowly degenerating brain function. Imagine what such a boy would turn up to be. It was clear from what the doctor said that that child was going to be in a school that was specifically geared towards supporting people with such conditions, such debilitating terminal illnesses. But who was with that child? The parents. And those parents did not let up. They stood their ground with such poise and determination that they far exceeded what the doctors, medical professionals could even comprehend themselves. People who had gone to the top universities to study for years and years, even up to a decade, and still my parents could defy them. And now you may open your eyes, because what you see before you is that same child who was diagnosed with this debilitating condition. And behold, I went to Stockport Grammar School, which is far beyond what I was initially predicted to go to. Woo-hoo! And that school that I was initially predicted to go to is called Oak Grove, and it's a special school. And indeed, can you imagine, can you believe this, the staff of the school acknowledge themselves that not one of the students that enter Oak Grove have ever made it in life. So I was nearly going to such a school. I was nearly one of their statistics of someone who would not have any value whatsoever to society. But now here I am. I went to Stockport Grammar School, and from there I went to Imperial College London, which is one of the top universities not only in the UK but in the world. And I studied material science and engineering, which people who were in my cohort would only have wished they could have had the intellect to even understand. It was the top field in a top university. And this same child that you're looking at today is the same child that, had my parents not had the determination, the resolution, the commitment, the internal power to defy what they thought was authoritative power. Medical professionals that were certainly more knowledgeable than they, and to stand before them and say in their minds that this son that has a cerebral atrophy condition would actually be worthwhile in the future. They said to themselves, my son, that we have begotten, we know that you have power in you. We know that you will be able to do whatever you are capable of and more. Because indeed, going to Imperial College London and even being accepted by Oxford is not something that they would have imagined at the time. Then they struggled with themselves to commit to my success, to my brother's success, and eventually even to my sister's success. And he is still about to go to the next level of her education. And indeed, he will likely go to Stockport Grammar School as well. And so every one of us would have gone to a grammar school. And behold, I have gone to Imperial College London for 4 years, not just 3, but studied a master's degree in material science. And now I am here to provide value to the world, to serve my gift, and to be the person that nobody, no doctor, no professional, not even my parents could perceive, but to achieve beyond everybody's wildest imaginations. So my message is that nobody should be limited by what other people think. Because what do you care what other people think? Everybody should see the light that extends. It is the light of hope. It's the light of life. It's the light of abundance and joy and wealth in spirit that will carry you. And it will be the light for your children, your grandchildren, for everybody you see, everybody that you influence, can influence, should influence, because you all have the power to provide value to others, to serve your gift. And my message is simple, and is to know that you have unlimited power within you, and that you can do anything that you want. Thank you. Okay.
A wonderful speech by Nwobodo. So next to me, Chike. Please come to the mic for me.
Oh, yes, yes.
All right. I hope this is audible for everybody.
I think you might have to conceal.
Oh. Can I?
Can you button this?
Oh, yeah. Maybe put it through one of the buttons.
And then put this here. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh.
I was thinking maybe. Sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, you want to put this inside here and it...
No, I was thinking like.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can.
Whoops. Okay, never mind.
All right. Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
The theme of my speech is about the power of no procrastination, no delay. And I would like to present to you the chronology of events that define or characterize my own experience in embracing the power of consistent action and hard work. It started from a very young age, in which I realized a simple but transformative fact, that taking small actions early and daily can lead to extraordinary results. When asked me in school to read one chapter, I would read 2. Homework during a week, I would submit it within the next day. These tendencies of mine weren't a burden, but instead I found it to be a necessary touchstone of responsibility for my future. As I got older, my sense of curiosity and ambition grew in equal measure. In 2017, I began reading the biography of Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson, to the wonder and astonishment of both students and staff at my school. Now, despite the enormity, the physical volume of the book, in fact, perhaps because of it, I felt compelled to read it from the start to its end, with a sense of both captivation and careful consideration of the text. I recall in particular the book starting with a single quote proudly adorned on the first page, which reads, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do." This powerful message resonated with me, and as I read on in the book, I realized that the message underscored a crucial mindset which Jobs himself used to propel his own life journey. Now, having contemplated this message, I strove to espouse this same mindset throughout my studies in school. And it led to me successfully achieving top grades in GCSE and securing a scholarship to one of the country's best schools. Today I study computer science at the University of Bath, where I am surrounded by other brilliant minds. Now, in university, I have come to realize, and indeed experience, that it confers itself its own unique constellation of problems. But in fact, I quickly learned that these problems are nothing more than opportunities in disguise.
Yes.
Now, having been introspective about my life and having disclosed this to you today, I have learned the following: that success is derived not from waiting around for the perfect circumstances, neither from expecting the perfect time to arrive, to appear before you, but instead it is by being proactive and starting immediately. So, I implore you, esteemed members of the audience, to delay no further, to take a step a single step, no matter how small, in the pursuit of your dreams, as this will bring you closer to achieving your dreams. The future favors those who take action. Therefore, start today. Keep moving forward and watch as your efforts shape the life you've always envisioned. Thank you. Thank you.
I think we're okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you've all heard it from us, from myself, from Chuka, my first son, and Chike, my second son. I don't think we're going to hear anything from them. Yeah. But I think I just want to consolidate, bring together what we've talked about today with three of us, in reference to where it is in the book. So I spoke about my journey growing up, having faced financial challenges and overcame it through determination and perseverance. And I delved deep in the first chapter of this book. And also the second chapter talks about the power of why. Why was I doing that? Why was there fire in my belly to carry on knocking from doors to doors, even with rejections? I kept going. Like Winston Churchill said, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And that's what I did, because there's a reason why I needed to sell that agni jollof. I needed to be in education. So it's not a matter of whether I want to or not. It was necessary, and I did that. So, and coming to Chuka's point about not letting anybody's perspective of you define your future. Also, it's also in this book. So I practice that with my learners because I teach in a rural Met College. So my learners, they don't feel themselves worthy of anything. So they've got everything it takes. They're blessed with resources, free education, free books, computers. Some of my learners, they drive cars to college. But I've also noticed they struggle within themselves with self-doubt. So I've empowered them, encouraged them to dream bold, to believe in themselves, to believe in their potentials, and not let anyone's opinion define their future. So, what can I say? So I'm coming to Chike's. Chike talked about small wins, which is here in chapter 7.
Chapter 8. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah.
Small wins. How small steps can make significant change when you keep taking small steps. So, yeah, I'm happy to welcome, although most of you haven't read the book, but I'm happy to welcome questions if you have one regarding this book. So should I give you time to think about it, or should we move? Should we have, where's Vicky? We can be having refreshment while we're thinking about. Yeah, go on.
At what point did you think your experience was something that you needed to translate into a book for people to actually see something tangible? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. At what point did I say that? Did I perceive the idea to write a book? I think I've always wanted to write, to talk about my story. Yeah, so, but I think what pushed me into doing it right now is my learners. Because they come to college with this weight of label that they're not going to amount to anything. Imposed by families, by loved ones, perhaps because they didn't go further in life as well. They're not doing it to harm them. It's just the way they see life. So they come with this idea that they're not going to be, because I teach cabin crews, I teach aviation and tavern tourism. So we prepare our learners to become cabin crews, to work with travel agents, tour operators, cruise ship, airlines, airport, all that. So, but they can't see themselves being like a cabin or any of that. So I started like encouraging them. Like for example, when I asked them to draw a vision board about their future selves, something incredible happens. Their faces light up, and they begin to see the version of themselves filled with possibilities. So with that, I said, I can reach wider audience, particularly that age group, to navigate complexities with the power of determination and perseverance, because that's what guided me while I was growing up myself. So that's why Serve Your Gift is alive now. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, more questions, or perhaps we'll just have snack and then we...
Yeah, I just have a question.
Okay, go on. Thank you.
What were the struggles you faced while, combining ideas to make this book?
Okay,
What were the challenges you faced while combining ideas for this book?
The challenges that I faced while writing this book? Well, quite a lot. Like, I'm married with 3 kids. Yeah, so it's not an easy job to look after family, go to work, think about book. Yeah, so it's quite a challenge. But because I've gone through what was worse than that, and I've developed that resilience, determination, perseverance early on in life. So it guided me through making this possible. Go on.
In the book,
yes.
How did you decide what goes in and what goes out?
That's interesting, because very, very fascinating question, because that's why it took me 10 years to write. Because I keep taking things out, bringing things in. Up till now, I still think that there are things that should go in the book. So perhaps in future, I'm still going to have another edition of this book. Yeah, but it's quite hard. It's hard. Because you think you can't take this out, but then the book, I have in mind that this book should not be very voluminous because of my target audience, because I don't want to put them off with too much high volume of book. And also, I don't want to make it to undercut the message. So I'm not sure I've answered the question. Go on, anyone.
So just following up on that, when reading the book, what's the one thing, except from the idea of serving your gift, what's the one thing you want someone to take away from it to really feel or be inspired about? Like, what's the one thing that you think?
To dream bold. Yeah. The one thing that anyone should take away from here is to dream bold. Because if I can do it, or if I could go through life becoming who I am today, you've got more opportunities than I did. So you dream big. The world, like I said, the world will reflect what you project. The way you see yourself matters. So dream big. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? If somebody says no to your request, so what? So what? It's still part of the success journey. So you carry on, you don't give up, you carry on. I faced rejection upon rejection. So I just said a little story about myself of how my little wins. Yeah? But I've gone through rejections. It's called life. I don't just, it's not magic to it. But that's what I believe in. Preparation will have to meet opportunity for you to stand a chance in life. And like Les Brown said, it's better for you to prepare for an opportunity and not get it than meeting an opportunity and not being prepared. So once you have that in mind, and then if you knock at the door, you seek an opportunity. If you don't get it, you keep going. You don't give up, you keep going. You keep going. Yeah. Until one day, like there's a Chinese proverb, I'm just going to share the message. It says, how long does it take to grow a tree? Because, I mean, there's this person that was growing a tree. Each day, you go and water the tree, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. Nothing was coming out. And people were saying, this tree you're always watering and guiding, and how come you're still doing that, and for years now it's not produced any fruit? And he kept doing that. He kept doing that. He kept doing that. And one day, he came out with beautiful fruit. And somebody asked him, how long did it take you to grow this tree? As long as it takes. He wasn't going to give up. It's like in this book, there's a child that I have in this book, Chuma Emedo. How long did he worry about how long it would take him to walk? No, the answer is no. He will try and walk, and he will fall, and he will get up. He will try again, and he will try just like any other child. They're the same. They don't give up. So why do we give up? When you are determined to achieve something, you should keep trying. Keep trying. Don't give up.
Sorry, do you have plans now or in the future to have seminars or lectures to help the young adult teenagers how to grow up and build up their dreams?
Yes. Yeah, that's at the back of this book. I talked about how people can connect with me through speaking engagement. Yes, things like that. Yeah. So my plan is to reach as wider audience, especially the youth. Because I've got using myself as an example, and then using the learners that I teach as an example. So yeah, that's why I want to reach so many age group.
So you start the book off talking about you used to sell rice.
Sorry?
You started the book off talking about you used to sell rice as a...
Sell jollof, agidi jollof. Yeah.
And it's crazy because obviously the way the book goes, you just see from literally zero to where you are now. But what's the one thing you would want to say to your younger self? So imagine you're talking to the person at the start of that book. What's the one thing you want to say to them? Because a lot of people are at the beginning stage that you was at. So
yeah.
It's like it's almost a thing so they can hear as well. So what's one thing you say?
Don't give up.
Okay.
Don't give up. Resilience. Because come on, when I was selling agidi jollof, some of my mates were laughing at me because I sell to them as well. I come to their house to knock, and then that's our classmates. They will laugh at me, but I didn't take any notice of that because of the power of why, which is in chapter 2. The power. Why am I doing that? The why kept me going. Yeah, go on.
We talk about resilience a lot, but like, what's the one thing you always look up to that kept you going? That flew the car and kept you going through your life?
Hunger to succeed in life. Hunger to break the iron chain of poverty in my family. Hunger to be known at some point in this world, to make an impact. Because I see it as a sin, actually, to just come to this world and consume what other people have made without contributing to this world. So this, imagine all these people we respect. Steve Jobs, for example. Imagine if he didn't come up with an iPhone. The connectivity, everything we're enjoying. that if Steve had held his fear and said, oh, no, I don't think this will work, because so many people told him it won't work. How can you do this and phone? Because you have to do that, to like dial a number or to, how can you flip through phone as if you are turning pages of book? It's impossible. As I teach travel and tourism, I teach aviation. So when I was teaching the evolution of air travel, it was fascinating. Two brothers, the Wright brothers, Wilbur and Ovale, how they conceived the idea that it's possible for human to fly. That you defy the law of gravity, and then human beings will fly. It was impossible concept. But they carried on. They carried on. They carried on. And then other people were trying as well. But the power of why is made it possible for them to be the ones known for making it possible for us to fly. Because there are people who had technology, were playing on technology to make a plane work. But it didn't work. But these guys, because they wanted, they don't want fame was not their priority. To be known wasn't their priority. They just wanted to make impact. To make impact in this world. And that resonates with me, because like when I was selling Agidi Jollof, it wasn't just, the money was good for me to be in education, but it did more than that. I was serving the community, and then I was freeing time for the women, because when they want to cook for family, or like these days you have like snack shops, then there was nothing like that. You have to make things from scratch. So when the little ones will be crying and they're trying to make food for the family, and there I will walk in, and they'll buy the Agidi Jollof and give the child, and they'll keep the child happy, and while they get on with other things. And other times, they will buy it for the entire family, and it will serve as the meal, while they'll plan ahead the next meal or do other things. So it's about the impact you make on other people's life. So because I knew my mom crafted that Agidi Jollof with the best recipe, and it's very nutritious, I ran with it. So you're selling something that gives you fulfillment, yeah, and as well as solving your own problems. So, and that's why this is the message of this book. Why you are serving the world. Think about how to serve the world, and how you become successful will be automatic. Do you get what I mean? Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Questions? More questions? It might be time to should we come over or
No, the first slide first, just anything you want.
Okay.
It's just all by road, please.
Okay. So full time, are we going to make that very fast?
Yes.
Because our time here is limited.
One more.
Okay, go on.
How much has faith played in your journey? So,
Faith?
Faith, yeah.
Oh yeah. Faith is it's in line with determination, because you've got to have unwavering faith. You have to believe in it without a doubt. And then, like I said, when you are determined to play bold, the universe will answer you. It does, because I believe all of us here are Christians, but there might be other people elsewhere in the world that worship something else. But there have to be something you look upon. You have to believe in that thing, and then believe in yourself. Yeah? Because once you start to doubt yourself, and that's why Dr. Miles Monroe said, it doesn't matter how big you are, or how intelligent you are, or how many degrees you've got. It's your mind that keeps you small. And it doesn't matter how small you are and how unintelligent you might seem to be. It's your mind that makes you a leader. So your thinking, your faith, is what will shape who you become.
downtime. Do you not think that God was building up for a certain, like, in a time like this, to a position where you can come?
To be fair, I didn't know how far I would go in life, but I knew there was something in me that made me feel I don't think like any other person. For example, my mom or dad will come home with a fruit, and my mind is to plant the seed. While other people will eat that fruit and then throw the seed away and move on with other things, my mind will be thinking, how come we have just one orange tree in our garden or in our compound when we can grow more than that? Or how come we don't even have udara tree at all? Does it mean it doesn't grow? So I started planting things very, very early. I was even planting in people's gardens. I was just planting because I was just envisioning when one day the whole place will be full of fruit trees. So, and that, I could see it vividly that will come. You know, so I wasn't like guessing it. I could see that one day I'm going to have like a whole garden of fruit. And it is real now. But what I didn't know is that at some point I'm going to get married and move away from my father's house. I was thinking that I will be here and then enjoy, like, sit down under an orange tree or pluck fresh all that, or mango or all that. And I want like variety, a lot of them, not just one. Yeah. Did I answer your question? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Go on.
Now you've achieved all these great things, you still have the same passion to keep keep producing the same stuff you've done before.
Now, I think now that I've got this, I've written this book. Yeah.
You achieved a lot. You still have the same drive and passion.
Yeah, because there's a lot. Yeah, to keep achieving. There's still a lot because all I'm sharing with you is just like a small win. I've not gotten to where I want to get to, because I want to see the impact this book will make. And I believe in it strongly that it's going to go a long way. And like, when you leave this place today, I'm looking forward to seeing how much impact it will have in your life. Okay, I think this one. Okay, okay. Sorry, what was that? Okay.
Yeah.
And college, and you're getting to university, you work from when parents are not there with you. You have to decide on yourself. What are the challenges? Because I can see I'm someone that relates to boys, do football, whatever. I know sometimes they'll be playing football, their school girls will be clapping for them, and they are feeling that they arrive. And from there, they start losing focus. So how can you overcome those challenges?
No, stand so that the video can see you. Stand and do nothing.
There must be a challenges. Because it's as a young boy. So how are you to overcome those challenges in our kids?
Okay.
Do you understand the question?
Yeah.
So I think.
Yeah. Right.
Do you understand? You know, like when you are doing something.
Yes.
It's like. Should I give an example of when I was growing up? So when I was growing up, I used to plant things. So each morning, because I was too small, I didn't know how long it would take for me to start seeing that what I'm planting is growing. So I keep going to like open it to see whether if there's any sign that it's coming up. But I didn't know that I have to give it time. That there's a certain time it will get to before it will start to show. It's growing underneath, but I'm not seeing it. So I will be going to like open it up to check whether it's growing. Yeah, so
I think it's for. Sorry, is it for who is it for?
No, it's for you, but I'm trying to. Yeah, for you.
For me. Oh, right,
so
okay.
The question is, if I understand it very well, the question is, what is the encouragement? You know, like when you are at home.
Yeah.
How do you?
Oh, okay.
How do you get motivated when nobody is cheering you up?
Yeah.
How would you? How is it possible that? Is that correct?
Yes.
when nobody is cheering you up, how do you?
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Okay.
You know their voice.
Yes.
And we have some, especially this book is about youth.
Yes.
There is challenges that will make you lose focus as a young boy.
Yeah.
Especially when they have mixed school.
Yeah.
You know, during our time we have boys school, girls school. Now we have boys and girls. So I don't know the kind of school you attended. Is it mixed or only boys, only girls? For you to have that focus.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
Oh.
Secondary school, get to university, especially university, where mom and dad are not there anymore. Everything is on phone. Now, Daddy, how are you? Are you okay? Where are you? I'm in my room.
Yes.
You might be outside, but say, I'm not seeing you.
Yes.
So how to overcome that for you to focus and achieve your destiny?
Yes. So in high school, I attended a mixed school, a mixed gender school. And I noticed that the other students were of a nature that seemed like they didn't know what they were doing for their future. And I just thought to myself that I don't want to be reckoned among such people. So in high school, I thought about the future, what I wanted to achieve in future. So I didn't let love or girl or whatever get into my...
I think that's where he was going to.
And then for sixth form, I attended an all-boys school, so that wasn't a problem anyway. And the nature of grammar schools promotes like an environment of education. So it was very easy. It was very well, not easy, but it was
natural.
Yeah, facilitated. Yeah, for me to focus on the next stage, which was university.
So it doesn't mean nothing hinder you from focusing.
No. Oh, sorry.
Oh, all right, okay. If you want to continue on the voice.
Oh, all right. Okay, well, that's easy. You can say.
You can increase your voice.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I need to be.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Yes, of course. In fact, there were plenty of things that hindered my focus, my attention. Social media, everything that today plagues modern man to lose their drive, to lose their enthusiasm and their motivation to excel in things that they are ultimately passionate about. And I believe the vast majority, if not everybody, has something that they are ultimately passionate about, that if they had if they had all the time, the resources, and the availability in the world, that they would want to do something that could be even potentially groundbreaking. For me, in school, when I went to a state school, before I went to Stop Grammar School, and then obviously from there I went to Imperial College London. But at the state school, distractions were rife, to say the least. Not just the students, but even sometimes the teachers themselves would distract you with odd things that aren't related to the syllabus, that aren't related to your future as a person, but are rather deleterious to your progress as an individual, that might actually cause you to fall if you're not careful. So the thing about my life, about our lives, is that we are constantly searching out wisdom, and we are constantly involved in the pursuit of discernment, so that we can discern what is good from what is bad. And it is, as I said, or as I alluded to, because of my parents, that I have that resilience, that determination, that commitment to personal growth and my personal evolution, that I was actually, in a way, undeterred, unfazed by the potential for distraction. So distractions were very much a mainstay of my experience growing up. And to a great extent, distractions was the more significant thing in my life as opposed to education. Education was almost like, this is again in the state school, education was almost like a byproduct of the education system, and everything else was focused on relationships, not just potentially sexual relationships further on, that kind of relationship, but relationships with friends, with people who are potentially going to distract you further down and going to limit your potential. So while those, and obviously you see that many people succumbed to those distractions. Either it's one distraction or it's multiple distractions over the course of years, because that high school, state school, is a long time, it's 5 years. So 5 years is a long time to be distracted, and distractions are happening every day. So it's like having chocolate in your cabinet, in your kitchen cabinet. If you see that chocolate every day, the temptation is so strong that you might one day eat that chocolate, and you know the chocolate is going to endanger your life potentially. Even if it's insidious, it's not going to just kill you all of a sudden, but it will slowly whittle away at your life. It will decay your quality of life. But if you just have that resilience, that commitment, a sliver of it, and you can have discernment to know what is good from what is bad, then you will seek the healthy food. You will seek the things that are going to promote you, that are going to uplift you, that are going to, over time, give you lasting wealth, give you lasting happiness and joy. And it will be the thing that actually causes you to be motivated by the simple virtue of seeking it out. And so over time, you will actually want to not be distracted. Yes. You will actually want to continue to pursue your goals because you know that those distractions are not going to help you.
Yeah, true. Can I just come in? Thank you for that. But I think, again, upbringing plays a part. Yeah, because if you recall, you didn't have mobile phone until you were almost leaving high school. So and then I started taking them, just like some people spend time training their children football and things like that. That's how I spent I've only just started working myself. I've not been working. So my time I spent from early on in life. From when they start to crawl, I've already introduced library to them, that habit of reading. So they grew up reading books, and because Bible said, when you get a child, you teach a child the way, and then when they grow up, So there come a time I just let go. They've got it. So I don't need to be there. You asked a good question. How can they be motivated, not distracted, even when I'm not there? Because and with God too, I'm not just playing God here, but I did my part as a parent, and then they picked it up from there.
Yes, sorry. One thing I want to also say is to confer a bit of practical advice, which is when I'm at university, I like to complement my actual studies with hobbies essentially that I'm interested in, or societies in university. I realized that there is a positive factor that can be had in like connecting with like-minded people. I think we both mentioned that we were surrounded by very smart students. Yes, and I realized that I can actually leverage that, and being among that company will actually inspire me to, stay motivated.
Yeah, I think because that's grammar schools. It's not that they teach exceptionally. I mean, like it's more or less the same teaching, but the people you mingle with is also key, and then the way the teachers relate to you is not just the actual teaching, but the environment, because now I think Chuka was the only black person in is it Stockport Grammar School, and
there was one girl who was black. There was one girl that was black, and then maybe one other.
Yeah, but predominantly, yeah, and because these people, because they got scholarship, and then majority of people that studied with them, their parents pay, and they have the money. So you're talking about like prominent people in the society, they studied with their kids. So it kind of had a bit of influence, on them. Yeah.
So what is you can be brought up with everything you want in your life. So what is the one distraction that made you question your whole journey in general? As human beings, we are very, even though we have everything in our heart, there's always that one thing that makes us question our whole existence, our whole journey. So what's that one distraction that made you question your whole journey?
Yes, no, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
No, I was agreeing.
Oh, right, yes. So I mentioned to you that I supplement my studies with hobbies, but it was the case that, especially last year, the sorts of things that I'm interested in, which are besides my studies. Oh, right. Yes, it came to a point where my interest in the arts, or like in different hobbies, actually almost overrode my actual motivation to do computer science. There is a trend that the sciences and the arts are kind of divergent. Like you can't really do both, which I attempted to do last year to a very extreme degree. So I think that's for me my biggest distraction, being unable to really manage in a sensible proportion those things.
Yeah, that's why we are all unique. Even though you are from the same, even though I gave birth to both of them, Chuka managed the Toastmaster. Is it Toastmasters?
Yeah, Toastmasters.
Yeah, he managed it very well with his own studies, but Chike struggled to manage extracurricular activity with his, because Chuka carried on being attending Toastmasters until he became the president of Imperial College London Toastmaster, and he came out. Go on.
Of course, it's not that with Toastmasters. I don't know if any of you have heard of Toastmasters. Toastmasters.
Talk a little bit. Give them the background.
Toastmasters is a public speaking society where the whole premise is to empower young leaders to become more influential in their speaking, so they can come to stages and speak passionately with confidence on what they're passionate about, whether it's a business that they're developing or it's some other venture that they're trying to progress. And I was part of that for the starting from the second year of university all the way into my first year out of university, and so I was in there for 4 years. And indeed, I became the president. I was originally the vice president, and then I graduated to becoming the president at the final year. But I would say that it didn't clash with the focus, the scientific domain, which was material science and engineering, as Chike's tendencies did. Because, as he said, it's science and art, which seem to be dichotomous in the sense that they seem to be at odds with each other. But Toastmasters is specifically engineered, if you will, to be for engineers, to be for people who are trying to, as I said, promote their own businesses and so forth. So it was very conducive for me to actually be in Toastmasters. I would say for TK, and even for myself, because it does apply, I do find that it is a great distraction for me to decide between science and art. I'm actually trying to promote Evolve currently by being a teacher, and there is a certain art to teaching, and there is a certain science as well. The problem arises when I try to balance both. I try to engineer my own teaching style, because it is a style that combines science and art in a unique way that is not conventional. If I stuck with the conventional method of teaching, I would learn essentially the science of teaching, which is well understood and is slowly evolving, as those of you who have children who are in the education system will attest to. But nevertheless, the teaching part of the science part of teaching is rigorous. You can read the literature and you can become a teacher. But by being an art person, not necessarily an artist, although that's also a notable career option, but by being into art, and engineering, I would say, is a way to dive into the field of art without specifically talking about art. For example, design engineering is the study of inventions, of inventing new technologies, and to do so, you need to be essentially an artist, but an artist of science. So there's the crux for me. The distraction is I want to be a scientist on one hand, and I want to be an artist on the other hand. And how do I effectively combine both of them to become a science communicator, which is why I went to Toastmasters, a communicator, a speaker of science in a way that will entertain people as well. And therein lies the art. So, in a nutshell, the distraction of my life, especially as I was graduating from Imperial, is how do I combine science with art in a way that will allow me to take myself in the direction that I ultimately want, and to evolve in the optimal way.
Good. More questions, guys? Any more questions? Okay?
All right.
Thank you very much. We'll just leave you to enjoy your meal. And then if you think of anything, we're still here. Thank you.
Well, actually, I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
So, I noticed earlier in the questioning, somebody, you replied to somebody saying that you might be interested in making a second edition or writing a second part.
Yeah.
How will the message differ in that new edition compared to this, or will it be of a similar message?
Yeah, the key, the fundamental message is already here, but it's just to build upon it. Because as I'm even talking now, there are things that I'm thinking that should be in this book. So each time I speak about this book, there's always ideas that should be incorporated. But the book is complete on its own. And now it's just to develop or give more examples to illustrate my point.
I see.
Yeah. And again, I'm still teaching at Wirral Met College. Yeah. So I'm still like experiencing different things that I would like to put in my second edition. Thank you. Thank you. So, Vicky, what's next in the agenda? I think enjoy your meal, guys. Yeah. Ephraim, you made it. Thank you. I'll let you eat. I'll come back. Thank you.
I guess you do.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's woman. Thank you.
I don't know if it actually works.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Vicky. Vic.
Thank you, yes.